Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our second podcast of the Alcatraz Capital Management podcast. But this is our first informative or informational podcast that we'll be doing. In this informational podcast, we'll be covering the day-to-day movements of stocks, upcoming dividends on the stock market, and others for news items that have come up day to day. So this is what this particular informative podcast will be for. So generally, I think what I would like to do is start with just kind of an overview. In particular, what I might do is just focus on the sort of on our watch list, not generally the stocks across the board. We will look at particularly the ASX stock exchange, which is stands for the Australian Stock Exchange, which is made up of 300 companies. Now, Alcatraz Capital Management focuses primarily on penny stocks at this point. And so what you can see sort of in the image here is a watch list of some of the stocks that we do monitor. Mind you, we don't have open positions on all of those at any one time, but it is a watch list of companies that we do keep an eye out on if any opportunities arise for speculation, any opportunities arrive for making profit, either from speculating or some sort of swing trade. What I might do is actually run through these companies that we have listed. So it is a list of, I think we've got here, I do believe we've got about 35 companies listed here. Yep, 35. We have a second watch list of 9. So all in all, we track 44 different penny stocks at any one time. So we'll go in alphabetical order. The stocks that we look at from sort of numbers to or A to Z. We've got First Group here. First Group took a fall today, so it went down. Generally across the board, there was most stocks, just as a general overview, most stocks just didn't move, or if they moved, they went back to their previous price. So there was a lot of static on the market. From what I can see, there was 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 5 out of 44 stocks moved up, so that shows you the poor performance of the stock market right now, and this is due to coronavirus. Coronavirus has really shut down a lot of international trade across the globe, and so that's got investors scared to put money into the market. I don't definitely right now. We are being a bit, more than a bit conservative at this point in time because the market is slow. Even attempting to speculate, within a day or two is not. You can't, at this point in time, the way the market is going, you can't expect to make money from a speculated trade or scalping trade within a day or two. You will be likely stuck holding the bag or holding a position for anywhere between several days to several weeks, likely several weeks, especially with penny stocks. So be wary at this point in time. If you're wanting to play the short game, it's going to be very slow. It's better to scalp, speculate in the short term when you've got lots of volatility in the market. Right now, there's not a lot of volatility in the market, especially in the Australian market, which is dependent a lot on China for trade. So you can imagine the ASX has taken quite a hit because of that, and you can see that in the penny stocks that we see here. So only if 5 of 44 went up, that's like 1 in 9 stocks went up. So that's very low. So that's I guess comparatively around about less than 10% of stocks. If you do the maths, I think my math is probably not right on that, but it's a pretty low percentage. So as we can see, first went down That was a movement of, went down a little over half a cent. A change of, that was a change of negative 11%. And 88E, 88E Energy, 8i Holdings, 9 Spokes International Limited New Zealand, Acrux Limited, and Altura Mining all didn't move, or basically stayed in the position that they're currently in. So no trading, either no trading. For example, on Altura Mining, there's literally no trades at all. So yeah, no movement at all on Altura. So all those stocks that I just mentioned didn't move at all. However, ALK, which stands for Alkane Resources, did move up half a cent. So there was movement there. Blackham Resources didn't move. There were losses on Bougainville Copper and Buru Energy. Both went down a half a cent. CAA Capital Limited didn't move. That stayed stagnant. There was a movement. There was a half cent move up on Capital Health. Capital Health is a stock that we have invested before and made money from. Blackham Resources, I did forget to mention Blackham Resources, and also 88E Energy we have made from as well. So yeah, I just thought I'd just state that. You can also find information about those past trades on our Instagram and Facebook, so you will find like a history of our successful trades there. CFE didn't move. CFE, Cape Lambert Resources, so that didn't make any kind of move. There was a DNA, which stands for Donegal International, did fall 0.1%, which is very little, but it still moved downwards. FMS, which stands for Flinders Mines, and G88, which stands for Golden Mine Resources Limited, didn't move. Now, the next 4 stock I'm going to mention, you can probably see on this list, because again, I'm going in alphabetical order. Triple G, Horizon Oil, Impedimed, and King Rose Mining all fell. And the range of that was anywhere between 0.1% and 0.4%. So not massive moves, but yeah, they still nonetheless there were falls in those stocks as well. LOM, Luca, which stands for Lucapa Diamond Limited, stayed steady, no movement there. Is there any trading on that? Okay. Course of sales. No sales at all made on that stock at all, so nothing traded on that stock. Metalex Limited and Medusa Mining both fell. Medusa Mining in particular fell almost 1 whole cent, so it's a fair amount compared to other stocks. One of the winners today, which is the next stock, Magnus Energy Tech, actually moved up half a cent. So that was one of the winners there, one of the 5 winners there. The next 3 stocks didn't move at all, so that is... okay, so NMI looks, it's an embellished stock code, so that looks like it may have been taken off the market. But if we look at NNW, that's 99 Wuxian Limited and Newfield Resources, which didn't move. The next 3 stocks now all fell, which were Paladin Energy, Pioneer Resources, we have bought in, and Pilbara Minerals. Pilbara Minerals and Pioneer Resources, we have invested and made money from those before. The first 2, Paladin and Pioneer, fell 0.1%. Pilbara fell 1 whole cent. Poseidon Nickel, which we bought before and made money from, didn't move, so no movement there. Pental Energy, one of the risers today, rose up half a cent to 40 cents. Formaxis and Tiger Coal likewise didn't make, sorry, not likewise, but Formaxis and Tiger Realms Coal didn't make any movements at all, so again stayed stagnant. Troy Resources fell 0.2%. And then the last 9, Common fell 0.2%. Grange Resources didn't move. Hot Chili Limited fell to 0.2 cents. Jupiter Mines also fell 0.5 cent. The last winner on our watch list, Reward Minerals, did go up 0.5 cent. And Stavely Minerals, TNG, Virgin Australia, and Varus Limited all fell. They all fell anywhere ranging from 0.1 cent to 1.5 cents. So, yeah, so a lot of stocks falling. A lot of stocks falling in the last day of trading. And so if we do a list here, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So 21 out of 44 stocks. So that's almost half, basically half the stocks on our watch list fell. So that's very significant. Only 5 rose, which would then indicate that, let's see, so you got 21, 5, 26, 44 that we're looking at all together. So that would indicate that 18 stocks didn't move at all. So that's that shows a lot of stagnation on the ASX. Now, mind you, these are only a handful of companies in comparison to the greater stock market, but you can sort of kind of get, you can, if you sort of quantify that, I guess, and sort of inflate that, that would indicate that, sort of show that the rest of the market probably isn't doing much better. It's probably equally stagnant or going down. There was, late last week, there did seem to be a pull back from the downturn. Some of these stocks did go up, like for example Blackham, where we actually made profit on Blackham, increasing our portfolio 9%. But it appears that the coronavirus is still being quite disruptive to the stock market. So I guess this downturn is still going to continue, and that buyer confidence hasn't returned just yet. It looks like it has started to return a little bit, but it's not quite. Like late last week, it looked like there was kind of a buyer confidence had increased, but it looks like it's still not quite there yet. So it's going to probably ebb and flow for a bit until Corona kind of gets under control and until there's kind of a renewal of economic trade to China. I would say that does it for sort of just doing some basic overview of the stocks that we're looking at. I mean, I would say that, as you can see, the pricing's there, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, kind of, where the stock is sitting at currently. That's something you can see. I will mention the changes, the number of cents it goes up or down. Perhaps in future podcasts, I will go into more detail on the volume that's being traded, and maybe give sort of a very good overview of some of these stocks in future. So this podcast, I might just keep the podcast fairly short initially, just to not bombard you with too much information. What I might do is actually maybe just give you sort of an overall rundown of the kind of volume that was traded. Out of the 44 companies that I'm looking at currently, the lowest volume traded seems to be about okay, so that's very interesting. So 2,700 shares was the lowest, and that was by a stock that went up by Reward Minerals. And the largest volume of shares traded was, in our penny stock list, probably likely Pilbara Minerals had the biggest. Yeah, Pilbara Minerals had the biggest volume traded at 10,350,000 shares. So almost other stocks fill in between. Mind you, Tiger Realms Coal had no stocks traded at all. There was no stocks traded from NMI. No stocks were traded from Luke Kappa Diamond or Cape Lambert Resources, nor was Altura Mining or 8i Holdings traded at all. So those had no trades made whatsoever during that day. So those were the non-traded stocks. So I might give a sort of general overview of the pricing, maybe go through the stocks on our watch list and sort of talk about where they're currently sitting. First group, so going back to the start of the watch list, first group fell to 4.5 cents. And that went down, as I mentioned before, 11.7%. Volume traded on that was 800,490. It did reach a high of 50 cents today, and hit a low of 45 cents. So it's currently hit its low. 88E Holdings currently sitting at 0.021 cents. 15,011,000 shares were traded on that stock. 8i Holdings currently sitting at 11 cents. No stocks traded. 9 Spokes Limited currently sitting at 2 cents. 3,300,000 shares were traded on that. Its daily low was 0.018 cents. And its high is currently where it's sitting at now. Acrox Limited is currently sitting at 16 cents. Its daily low was 15.7 cents. Its high was 16.2, so it's sitting just under its high point. And that stock traded saw a volume of 313,389 shares traded. Altura Mining is currently sitting at 6.3 cents, or I should say 0.063 cents, and no trades made on that. Alkane Resources, of course, one of the risers, is currently sitting at 90.5 cents. That's a 6.47% increase. Volume, its low was at 8 cents. Its high was at 0.935 cents. So it's in in between that currently. 4.83 million shares were traded on that. Blackham didn't move at all. It's currently sitting at 1 cent. Hit a low of 0.009 cents and hit a high of 0.011 cents. 68,840,000 shares were traded on that stock, so that's quite a big sell-off, or quite a big trade movement quite a big trade movement there. Bougainville Copper fell to 24.5 cents, so it went down 2%. Its highest, it hit as high as 25 cents today, and was as low as 24.5. 35,597 shares were bought and sold today, or I should say yesterday now, as I'm doing this late. Brewer Energy sitting at 15 cents, went down 3.22%, opened at 15 cents, hit as high as 15.5, hit as low as 14.5, 157,732 shares were traded on that. Capital Limited currently sitting at 12 cents, 480,282 shares traded. It reached a low of 11.5, reached a high of 12. It's currently sitting at 12. Capital Health currently sitting at 29.5 cents. went up 1.72%. Went as high as 30.5 cents, went as low as 28.5 cents. 13,840,000 shares traded on that. Cape Lambert Resources sitting at half a cent, no shares traded. Doneco Limited currently sitting at 7.5 cents, down 1.31%. Opened at 0.076 cents, went as high as 0.079 cents, and went as low as 7.5 cents. 673,848 shares were traded on that. Flinders Mines, currently sitting at a little over 4.5 cents. Went as low as just under 4.5 cents. 545,872 shares were traded on that today, or I should say yesterday. G88, Golden Mile Resources, currently sitting at 0.047 cents. As low as 0.046 cents, currently sitting at its high point. 211,421 shares were sold. Triple G, Greenland Minerals, fell to 2% to 0.96 cents. Went as high as $1, went as high as 10 cents, and currently sitting at its low point. 2,320,000 shares traded on that. Horizon Oil had a big drop of 5.33% to 0.071 cents. Went as low as 0.071 cents. 1.64 million shares were traded on that. Impedimed, Impedimed is currently fallen 4.1% to 0.092 cents. It fell as low as 0.086 cents, went as high as 0.095 cents. 907,019 shares were traded on that. Kingross Mining fell 3.22%. Currently sitting at 3 cents. Traded at a volume of a little over 1 million shares. The Kappa Diamond, nothing to say on that other than it's currently sitting at 15 cents and no trading at all on that. Metal X down to 0.083 cents, down 3.48%. Went as low as 0.078 cents, as high as 0.0086. So sort of closer to the high point. And trading at 2.91 million. Medusa Mining, currently sitting at 60 cents, down 13.6%, which is quite high. Was as low as 56.5 cents, as high as 69.5. So sitting sort of in between, and volume traded on that was 1.32 million. Just under 1 million shares, 959,142 shares traded on Magnus Limited, or Magnus Energy Tech, currently sitting at 7.5 cents, up 7.1%. It's been as low as just over 6.5 cents, and as high as 8 cents. New Wixie 99 Limited, currently sitting at just over 6.5 cents. Just under 300,000 shares traded on that. Newfield Resources, currently sitting at 17 cents. Went as low as 16 cents and as high as 17 cents. 38,485 shares traded on that. Paladin Energy at 0.081 cents, down 1.2%. Volume traded 3.12 million shares. Pioneer Resources down 7.1% at to 0.013 cents. Over 500,000 shares traded on that. Pilbara Minerals down 26.5 cents, down 3.63%. 10 million traded on that, as we mentioned before. Poseidon currently sitting at 0.032 cents. Pental Energy up to 40 cents, up 1.26%. Pharmaxis Limited traded at over 500,000 shares, currently sitting at 10.5 cents. Tiger Realm Coal just sitting just under 1 cent. Troy Resources sitting at just under 9.5 cents. Went down 2.1%, traded at just under 700,000 shares. 8 Common sitting at 7.5 cents, down 2.5 cents. Actually, down 2.5%, and a volume of just under 450,000 shares traded. Grange Resources sitting at 22.5 cents. Hot Chili Limited sitting at just under 2.5 cents there. Jupiter Mines sitting at 25 cents. Reward Minerals at 15. Stavely Minerals at 69 cents. TNG sitting at a little over 7.5 cents. Virgin Australia Holdings at 11.5 cents. And Barris Limited at 0.063 cents. I thought I'd cut it short towards the end there. I apologize. I didn't go into more detail, but I'm getting the feeling that it's probably a little bit too much detail for this podcast, but I think we'll leave it at that. Maybe we'll just stick to, I think in the future what I'll do is maybe just stick to the price the stock's currently being traded at, maybe the volume, and not even mention the highs and lows. That's something, again, you can look at this chart here. So those are just some of the penny stocks that we're looking at. What we might do is, I think we've got a bit of time. Let's just currently take a look at the current. Yeah. Now I think what we'll do is I'll take a look at the next upcoming dividend stock and see if there's anything available, and that will be our next podcast. I think that's what we'll do. So we'll leave it at that. If you have any questions, you're welcome, of course, to contact us through our Facebook, of course, and or Twitter or Instagram that are also available. On behalf of Alkindros Capital Management, this is Konstantin Kai Alkindros, your host, signing out. Over and out.